Eric, how would you feel if the Suns beat the Lakers tonight?
I'm glad you asked.
As BComC clearly would say, boing!
Psychos and sickos unite for a Luka, a ho edition of the PHNX Suns pregame show. Of course, brought to you by our friends over at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Visit playatgila.com for more details. You do you. At Gila River Resorts and Casinos, I'm Eric. Boing, indeed. That's Espo. We got Gil and the Freckle Mamba behind the Mac making all of the magic happen. No, Steven today. He is not at the morgue. He is at home. So you just got the crew here rocking with you on a Tuesday night, Christmas Eve, as the Suns host the Los Angeles Lakers. We'll be doing a watch-along, maybe our last watch-along of the year. So you make sure you tune in for that. But we got a lot to get into today, including some injury updates. But how are we feeling as we approach the first Christmas day in, 4 years since the Phoenix Suns have not played a basketball game?
You got me scared when you're like, possibly our last watch along.
I have some news.
I was like, is there something I need to know? Oh crap. No, glad to not have to work Christmas this year, especially after some of those Christmas games we had to watch. And Kevin from Mesa, we see you here. Glad to have you, even though nobody else can see you.
No, I don't see him. No, Kev, they got you. No.
Got him.
How's the new guy feeling?
Not because we can't see it. We actually can, but not because of that. I'm feeling merry. You know,
that's good.
You're feeling merry because you get to leave town. That's
I do get. I just see my family tomorrow, so that'll be good too. But I'm feeling merry. I'm feeling merry because tonight's a winnable game. I'm excited to talk about it too.
Freckle Mamba, how are you feeling? How's the man behind the Mac?
Always feeling good when we get to beat the Lakers.
Yeah.
Oh, let's go.
Hopefully beat LA tonight.
Eric, I'm really disappointed when you did the Kevin thing and you didn't go, Kevin!
It is the time of the year for that too. That would have been good.
My bad. I'm too busy trying to keep this hat standing straight up. I think I need
the win for that.
I think I need an old sponsor to help out with this one. Look, I think before we get into tonight's game specifically, there was some news that came down yesterday. Let's go ahead and jump into the injury report presented by our friends over at the Husband and Wife Law Team. If you've had a serious injury, call the Husband and Wife Law Team first at 602-783-8841 or visit their website at husbandandwifelawteam.com. So for this game, on the Lakers side of things, Luka Doncic is out with a left leg contusion. They play on Christmas. You have to imagine they're gearing up for that. Hachimura also out. Gabe Vincent also out. But Austin Reaves, that's where all the free throws are going tonight. He's available. It's the Suns side of things that we need to talk about. Grayson Allen continues to be out with right knee injury management. Coach Jordan said he hopes to see him in New Orleans. I hope to see him there too. Jordan Goodwin available with a jaw sprain. But Jalen Green, we got news yesterday that the reevaluation has happened. And once again, Jalen Green has a target date for reevaluation. 2 to 3 weeks from now. They say he's progressing well in his recovery. But a disappointment. I know you talked about this on Southwest Bias earlier, so Gil, we'll start with you. Your initial reaction to 2 to 3 more weeks for Jalen Green reevaluation.
I mean, it's a bummer. I mean, we were getting excited thinking about, oh man, we're going to see him in that doubleheader in New Orleans. We might see him, on New Year's Eve against the Cavs. And now it's like, okay, maybe another 2 more weeks. And I think it's interesting because I thought back to what we talked about when we were talking about Jalen Green during the lull between games when it was like, oh, he's going to be reevaluated in X amount of time. That insinuates that they're not looking at him every day. Like he's testing and doing all these things. They're not just going to let us know what's happening for another 2 to 3 weeks, but it's some clarity, I guess, because that's been a topic of discussion in the chat. We get asked a lot, when is Jalen Green coming back? And I would think that the timeline between us learning more being shorter this time around is encouraging. And I think the biggest thing is keeping the big picture in mind. This team is 2 games over 500 right now, hopefully 3 after tonight, and hopefully can still have a cushion when he comes back and just keeps it rolling from there.
Yeah, I mean, I know there's PTSD from Bradley Beal, and I understand that, but we also, a lot of us sat here and said, well, we don't really want to see him till January anyways. Let him rest, right? Essentially, this is January, first week of January, right around there. Reassess, we'll figure it out at that point. Do I like it? No. I want to see him out there on the court. Would love to see him out there on the court sooner rather than later. Eric, I think you made the point on social that now this gives you even less of a runway to understand what you have too.
I mean, look, call a spade, this sucks, right? It sucks. Now, you have to do what's best for Jalen, and unfortunately, when he did come back on the court, we got 30 minutes of Jalen Green before he got injured again. The worst possible thing was, okay, he's back against New Orleans, and then he's out again and aggravates that hamstring injury. I understand Suns fans' frustrations, especially because I know it's not the same hamstring injury, but this is something that dates back to before the preseason in training camp, before they went to China in the beginning of October. And it's just kind of seemingly progressively got worse. And 2 to 3 more weeks, it gives you about a month until the trade deadline. But also, this is just a team that could really use an investment of Jalen Green into this lineup. Gil and I talked to Tim Legler. That's up on audio and on our YouTube channel right now. That's still evergreen if you're looking for something to watch over the next couple of days. And he mentioned that some of the Suns' glaring weaknesses can be solved by Green. So it's this weird combination, Espo, of like getting a taste of it, right? And we saw him play so well for those 30 minutes. And now we're not going to see him until 2026, which I don't think anybody expected when he was initially listed as out with right hamstring soreness in September.
I mean, there's a world where this could have really been 3 separate things. The soreness, the initial strain, which, to remind everybody, a strain is a tear. It's just a partial tear, and there's different degrees at which it happens, right? So then there was the strain and the second strain that happened as well. So I think when you look at it like that, it's not, oh, this is one really long injury. It's multiple injuries that have happened. But it's extremely frustrating, but I think I'm not panicking, and I'm not as outwardly frustrated or angry about it because they're 15 and 13.
Yeah.
If this team were bad right now and we hadn't seen Jalen Green, I think this is a much different angst and anger from some fans than we're seeing right now. But anybody saying Bradley Beal 2.0, pump the brakes. Dude's 23, had never really missed games prior to this. This is not something that is a career-long thing with a lot of miles on this game.
Yeah, it's bad luck, right? You think about the fact how durable he had been most recently last season. And the other thing it's important to point out, like you said, there are different degrees of strains. And obviously, it was a really bad strain, and they want to be careful because, again, he is 23 years old. There's no reason to continue to have this prolonged issue or this recurring issue that actually becomes a bigger deal than it is. And on top of being 15 and 13, it's fun to watch. So it's not like, man, this team is somehow this ugly way style of form. Like, we need to see this something different with him out there. Like, they've been fun to watch. But you're talking about runway. I was curious, how much of a runway do you think this team needs if they want to incorporate him? Because we talked about it with Tim Legler, how big of a piece of this offense and this team he's going to be. It's not going to be right away. So how much time do you think it needs to be? Because I feel like we're starting to kind of run into that line of like, is there going to be enough time to get him incorporated to be a competitive team in the postseason?
Look, realistically, you want at least a couple of months of healthy basketball. That's not going to happen. That honestly rarely happens just in the NBA in general. A month is a good amount of time. You are going to be playing some lower level teams in that month stretch as well. It's not going to be like this murderer's row. So you might have an easier time to settle in and to figure that out. You can look at it the flip side as well, though, where in the playoffs, your guys get put in positions where they need to step up maybe a rung or two for a specific game, and you are getting really good evaluation time, like Mario in the chat says, not just for Colin Gillespie, but also for Jamari Bouye. You're getting to see a little bit more from guys like Royce O'Neal, Grayson Allen when he does play. Also, this might just be a team, Espo, that deals with injuries. That might also be what determines what you do at the trade deadline as far as depth goes. So there are 2 ways to look at it. I think you have to look at it both ways, in the disappointing way and in a way with a positive spin because of what you said, Gil, which is teams above 500, they're fun to watch. And when he comes back, because it's not like he's out for the season, it should be, I don't want to say a seamless fit, but that's what they built the team around. It should be an easy transition.
Yeah, I'm less worried about working him into the offense. I'm more worried about, you don't have much time before the trade deadline. February 5th is the trade deadline, early there in February. So you have less time to understand how does your bench look and when it's going to be the way it is. And I think that center, backup center, like we've talked about, is an area you're going to have to try to figure out. But I don't think you're going to fully understand, could there be other things that when this team is in its right positions that maybe you need. That's what worries me. I think they'll figure out how to work him into the offense, but that's where I draw it. By the way, Arctic said, well, it could mean he becomes injury prone. It also, he could turn into Michael Jordan. We don't know.
Sure.
Like, I don't
but
know.
that's also
Like,
it's the feeling of a Suns fan of feeling like you're cursed.
oh, yeah.
Right? Where
I
it's
mean,
like,
we are, but I don't know that that's what's going to happen with Jalen. I mean,
can I address something in the chat? I'm so confused.
do we want to? Okay.
Mario says also Eric is 40 and he came back from a concussion in a week. Everyone's on their own timeline. That is the first time somebody in our chat has not called me 14 and actually called me older.
I see, huh?
Yeah, I'm with you, OG.
Yeah,
let's go.
I'm the early 20s guy now. All right.
Everything's flipped around.
Shifted.
All I want for Christmas is
All I want for Christmas is you.
arthritis cream, but then I started messing up. Okay.
Apparently your front teeth too.
Well, yeah, maybe just a brain that works. Anyways, obviously the Suns are going to have to go without Jalen Green for tonight's game and for a couple more games going forward. We'll continue to talk about that as time goes on, but certainly something we need to dive into with yesterday's news. Continue to be without Grayson Allen, who hopefully is back. He was technically upgraded going into tonight's game to doubtful. Him being gone tonight is more concerning than Jalen Green simply because we have seen what Grayson can bring to this team this year, and without Jalen, who you knew you were going to miss, Grayson's absence hits that much stronger, Gil.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think it's funny now. Not funny, actually. It's frustrating.
I'm
yeah. It's frustrating,
tears.
but I feel like the last couple Lakers games were like, oh, this is going to be a good opportunity for Grayson to step up and play well. And here we are again, no Grayson for this Lakers game. And thinking about, seeing him and Devin Booker play together, play off of one another, that's fun to see, especially on an opportunity like this tonight where the Lakers aren't at full strength. So another bummer. Again, we always talked about it. Take one step forward, two steps back. Well, it feels like we took a third step back with the Jalen Green news yesterday, and then Grayson still being unavailable today. So you hope that after today you have a couple days off and we can get him back and see him in New Orleans, not just there on the sideline, but also on the court in uniform at the Blender.
Or on Bourbon Street.
Or there too. Just enjoy the city, man.
Bourbon
He's got a kid. He'll be hanging out.
Yeah, that doesn't stop people in Bourbon Street.
Fair enough.
Street's its own beast. By the way, I'd like to thank you, Eric, because I always wondered what Weekend at Bernie's would look like if they did a Christmas edition, and now we know. So
I mean, look, I'll just lay there like this.
That's good.
Let's keep it rolling. Also, Sean says, I don't think he meant to put the 0 after the 4, Eric. Definitely a typo. That's a good one, Sean. That's a good one. You're all so funny. You're all such great comedians. Speaking of comedy, how many free throws is Austin Reaves going to shoot tonight, folks? He is back, but he's not in the starting lineup. Jake LaRavia, LeBron James, DeAndre Ayton, Nick Smith Jr., and Marcus Smart getting the start for the Los Angeles Lakers.
where do these teams keep finding these creative players? Nick Smith Jr. is the most generic name, along with Mr. Post that we saw for
Quentin Post.
Yeah.
But Austin Reaves coming off of the bench. The Suns starting 5, Brooks, O'Neal, Williams, Booker, Gillespie. I give the starting 5 advantage to the Suns, even with LeBron in there, especially with Reaves coming off the bench.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously, I'll take my Jake LaRavia bias aside, go Deeks. But aside from that, I do think with the way that they switch things around, Nick Smith Jr. had a big game earlier this year. It's kind of an interesting spot. He's on a two-way contract, and you don't see guys on two-ways start that often. So, yeah, I think that with Devin Booker, especially playing the way he's been playing lately, I think the Suns do have that starting lineup advantage because also on top of that, I'm very curious, and I wouldn't be able to pick it up that quickly, but how many minutes that Lakers lineup has spent playing together this year, because there's probably going to be a few growing pains with these guys learning how to play alongside one another tonight.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. LeBron has only been back, a couple weeks now?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, there's not a lot of minutes I'm guessing that group has played. Yeah, they've got an advantage, but like you mentioned, it's going to come down to how do the refs call this game? Are LeBron and Austin Reaves going to the free throw line a combined 45 times tonight? I mean, that'll have a big say in it too, because this game could turn into another one of those ugly grind it out because you're going to the scorers table for review constantly. You're going to the free throw line. I just hope that is not where we're headed tonight.
I think what's interesting with Reaves coming off of the bench, most of the time in these situations, I know sometimes it's different, that player's on a minutes restriction. We saw it with Wemby most recently, coming back from his calf injury and playing. So I wonder if Reaves cracks 25-ish minutes tonight, and that could put a lid on this scoring for the Lakers, which has been their strong suit. This is not not a good defensive team.
No.
Right? And so the Suns, of course, 2 times ago when they played, when they just put beat the brakes off of them when Devin Booker went out, they took advantage of their weak defense, right? They're probably a little bit better on defense without Reaves and Luka in the starting lineup, but their offense just tanks off of a cliff. Is this the LeBron James night? I know he's had some big scoring nights recently as he's worked his way back in. Is this a DeAndre Ayton night? We know who DeAndre Ayton is, but at the same time, like, he is capable of putting up big numbers. If there was a number one besides LeBron that you're at least worried about tonight as far as putting on for the Lakers, is it Laravia? Is it Ayton? Is it Marcus Smart who hit 8 threes against the Suns? Like, who is it on the Lakers that's the other besides LeBron?
I mean, it'll be Austin for me. Even if he plays 25 minutes, he's got the capability of going off and putting him with the bench. That means he'll be going against likely a lot of second unit guys, at least in that first stint for the Suns, which isn't necessarily a downgrade for them. That means Jordan Goodwin likely playing some defense on him. But yeah, he's going to be the number 2 guy I'm concerned about. We know what DA will do. I'm not overly concerned there. It's LeBron and it's Austin Reaves tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I'll add DA to that because last time they were here, he looked like the good version of him that was motivated, playing back, and I guess trying to silence the crowd as best as he could anyway. So I'm thinking about that. You mentioned Laravia as well. I think he's going to get a lot of opportunities. There's going to be a lot of shots that come to him, especially knowing that Austin Reaves is likely on that minutes restriction. I'm curious to see, how Marcus Smart, what version of him that he gets. Because, I mean, there have been times where he's made some decisions where it's like a Marcus Smart experience, too. What we talk about with Dylan Brooks is a Marcus Smart experience, which is a very real thing as well for this Lakers team. So there's a reason that Nick Smith Jr. is in the starting lineup. I don't know if that means some shots are coming to him. That'll be interesting, too, because especially now that we call him a creative player, I think that he's going to he's going to be the one that
it's like when I said Klay Thompson sucks and he had his season.
That's just the way it works, man.
Usually creative players are good because you push those,
you get the sliders wherever you want, know it,
right?
You know it.
That's all right.
Well, speaking of sliders, is a slider pushed up on the Suns must-win meter. Let's go and take a look at that. Steven's frozen, by the way.
That's because he's in Chicago.
He's in Chicago.
Yeah. The pipes are about to burst.
Which, by the way, brings us, I believe, our highest must-win meter of the season. If not, it's definitely second. I'm at a 10. Duh. Ayrton
so
and Espo at a 9. And Gil, you're at a 9.5. It averages out to a 9.4. Is it because of the last game against the Lakers plus the fact that it is the Lakers?
A couple things. Last game versus the Lakers. It's the Lakers. Luka Doncic, Rui Hachimura, and Gabe Vincent are not playing.
Not Gabe Vincent.
It's your last game before a layoff in the holiday as well. So all of those things, you want to win this game. You don't want to go into a few days off with a bad taste in your mouth. You also don't want to lose 2 games in a row. Take care of them. And also, like I said this again, don't lose 2 in a row at home to the same team. No, you can't do that.
It's simple for me. If I have to work the night before Christmas Eve when all the other staff left at 3 today, you better win, because if I'm working, you better be working your ass off tonight too. And I can't go into 2 days off having lost to the Lakers for the second time in a week.
Yeah, the last Lakers game was brutal, and definitely something to watch, the whole LeBron, Dylan Brooks dynamic here, even though I believe they're also playing on Christmas against each other.
If you're ESPN.
According to the worldwide leader.
Man, this hat's really upsetting me. I want to stay up. But it's always the Lakers. You always need to beat the Lakers. But like you mentioned, Gil, you're at home and you're 1 game above 500 if you lose tonight. And by the way, the Pelicans team that you're playing back-to-back next is absolutely on fire, has beaten the Rockets, has beaten some good teams. They've won 5 in a row. You've proven that you can beat this team. Your health is better than this team, even though you're missing a couple of guys because they're missing their best player in Luka Doncic. Big night for Devin Booker to step up. Colin Gillespie had a really good first game against the Lakers. Can he repeat that? And Mark Williams versus DeAndre Ayton continues to be kind of a tug of war. Those are just some things to watch. But Espo, Steven's gone. Well, not gone. He's in Chicago.
We know where
I mean,
my setups today have been kind of eerie.
Man, it's dark in here.
What are your keys to the game?
Fired up. Score more points than the Lakers.
That's the biggest key.
Don't all get ejected. All right, that says ejected, Eric. And key 3, tell JJ he sucked at podcasting.
Okay, so I have beef with one of these. JJ was objectively a good podcast.
He sucked at podcasting.
That's just not true.
The second he chose to go work for the Lakers,
Coach
he
JJ
sucked.
can. No, never mind.
Maybe
Coach
he needs
JJ
to go
sucks.
check with GPT to figure.
God, I love those jokes. No, I think JJ was objectively a good podcaster. Gil. Like he was objectively good.
That's fine. I enjoyed it.
He's
What it
good.
was.
Yeah, and the second he decided to be the Lakers head coach, it invalidated it.
It's a
He
different
sucked
guy.
he sucked as a podcaster.
Different guy. He's born to be a villain, though. Mario says, "What makes a good/bad podcaster?"
Well, this is what makes bad, and then you decide what makes good for you.
Takes bad to know.
I was pointing at myself to be clear, not
No,
you.
it's not. No, it's all of us. We collectively. Okay, you're only as strong as your weakest link, right? So if one of us is bad, then all of us is bad.
Sorry, Ayrton.
Yeah, sorry, Ayrton. Maybe we'll all be bad at podcasting on our watch along, where you can come watch with us. What a sell, right? I mean, we're really killing it.
We're here, so you have to be too.
Yeah, I mean, why not? Come hang out with us, avoid time with your family, and spend time with your virtual family.
Or share us.
Instead.
Introduce us to your family.
Ooh.
This holiday season.
Oh, we're not at that point in the relationship.
Yeah,
Okay.
no,
Wait
you're
till-
gonna have to gatekeep
No.
us.
Yeah.
No.
New Year. We'll
You can't introduce guys like us to your family. It just doesn't work like
No,
that.
maybe this is the best time to do it. Maybe somebody's got some drinks flowing. Okay,
See?
let's talk a little bit more basketball here, as it is a basketball pregame show. Is there somebody besides Dylan Brooks, Devin Booker that you're looking at on the Suns? You're like, you know what? They need them to really step up tonight.
Well, I was talking about Mark Williams bouncing back from some off nights. Better matchup for him. But I won't say need with Jordan Goodwin, but we've seen him have some good matchups against the Lakers. This is a team that he's familiar with. He spent time with them. I expect him to bring some of that grit. You mentioned it a little bit, defensively, and then that translates to the other end of the floor too.
Oso's my guy. You need Oso to play good minutes in that backup role tonight. This is a team.
Nash
that-
Jackson has injury.
yeah.
Energy. Wow.
Hopefully not his injury. Any injuries at that spot, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I think it's really the center position. Because to your point, you need Mark to step up as well. But Oso is a guy that I'm looking at to show a little something in that second unit.
Royce O'Neal, pal.
Come on down.
They're saying things about you, Royce. They're not happy about you, Royce.
You're tanking your trade value, Royce.
Yeah, look, he had a little stretch there against the Lakers last game, but defensively from Royce O'Neal, he's going to need to be on one tonight. Obviously, the Lakers are going to be down Luka. I think their offensive game plan becomes a little bit more stretched out, right? And that means that everybody's going to be driving on everybody. They're going to try to focus and emphasize on ball movement. That's how you succeed when you don't have Luka Doncic out there for your team, which means you can't really stash Royce on the worst guy, because the worst guy is a lot closer to the second and third worst guy than usual. So the ball's going to find their hands and you're going to get attacked. If they're able to find you and attack you, that is an easy way for this Lakers team to get into a rhythm. And then I agree with you with Mark Williams. Trying to shut down DeAndre Ayton back at DeAndre Ayton's, stomping grounds is a pretty big deal, especially tonight. Because if you do one of those things, if you take away the others or you take away Ayton, it's going to be hard for the Lakers to find the firepower to really keep up with the Suns tonight if Devin Booker continues to play like he has been playing the last couple of games. And I think that's the last thing I want to get into before we get into bets here, is tonight could be another really good book night to see and continue to see him build off of what he was able to do and hopefully get into a win. Would be really nice going into this little bit of a break. Power your team to 3 games over 500 and then go to New Orleans, which is a place that you always put up big numbers against because you have some ties there with your family. I do expect a good game out of Devin Booker tonight.
To quote Mariah Carey, all I want for Christmas is Armani mode.
Yep. I didn't know where you were going.
That's not your favorite song?
Yeah, I love that song.
No.
But I was gonna say, yeah. I mean, and we saw him. I mean, before the injury, had a really good first quarter against the Lakers. I think the big thing with him, I'm expecting him to have a good game, but I want to see him set the tone, especially knowing the way the Lakers starting lineup is. If he can set the tone early in the first quarter, I think that will do benefits for the Suns.
Speaking of setting the tone, some of y'all set the tone on our bets while I was gone. What the hell, guys? Let's get into our pre-game picks. Of course, presented by our friends over at Bet365. Sign up, use code PHNX365. Deposit 10, place a bet for 5, get 150 in bonus bets if your bet wins or loses. Bonus bets can be used on spreads, totals, player props, futures, and more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. You must be 21 plus and physically located in Arizona. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP, text NEXT-STEP to 53342, or visit problemgambling.az.gov.
How's it in the basement, Eric?
What the fuck, guys? What?
How's it in the basement?
This has got to be fake. This has got to be fake. Y'all are just on fire
We wanted
while
more
I'm
green
gone.
and red for the holidays, so that's why. Thanks for keeping the red going, because it would have been festive without you.
Even Buffalo Bill's going, man, you're so far down there, I can't get the lotion back in the basket. You're out. Whoa, hello.
What the hell, guys?
Yeah, that's why you can make fun of me all you want, but I'm never dead. Remember
Well, look,
that.
if there's anything that I've learned is that my ass ain't dead either, baby. And tonight is the night that I claw back up into the positive. That's right.
Woo!
That's right.
My God, we're not even going to be able to track all this.
All I want for Christmas is an 8-leg parlay. Or maybe that's 7 legs. Devin Booker over 35.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Mark Williams over 21.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Jordan Goodwin revenge game over 1.5 stocks. Dylan Brooks over 2.5 3-pointers made. LeBron James under 1.5 3-pointers made. I think he has the ball in his hands a lot more tonight. Not going to be shooting those spot-up catch-and-shoot threes that he gets off of Luka Doncic. I got Austin Reaves, 3+ first-quarter points. He's shooting coming in off the bench. And LeBron 3+ first-quarter points.
Ayrton, I'm sorry you have to try to figure out if that hits or not.
No, I'll figure it out. That's a
I don't
plus
trust him.
3,200.
I don't
by the
trust
way.
him.
Well-
Double check his work.
Oh, sorry, the Damari. Sorry for the language. My bad. This is a good lesson to these kids. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to find 342.
If you have a language problem, we'll have one of those jars that we can donate money to as well.
Espo, what are you putting money on tonight
I'm
as you
putting
make
money-
your way back to the negative?
I'll put money on another win. Devin Booker, 40+ points. Devin Booker, 5+ assists at a plus
Simple and plain.
1,200.
Simple and plain.
This is where the comeback starts. The full-fledged
The comeback. You're fine, dude.
I'm in third. I got to be in first by the end of the year.
Must be nice. Gil, what are you putting your money on?
Armani Mode, 25.5+ points for Devin Booker. LeBron James, 20+ points. He's coming off a 36-point performance the other night. Jared Vanderbilt, 5+ rebounds. Somebody's got to do it. And Mark Williams, 7+ rebounds. Let's bounce back, big fella. Plus 420.
Ayrton, Mr. O, I'm going to hit my bets as soon as Eric's gone.
We're going for 2 in a row tonight. Devin Booker over 36.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Ryan Dunn, bounce back game today, over 12.5 points, rebounds, assists. And Goat James, over 22.5 points for a plus 500.
Just give yourself the win already, I think. Good,
see.
good bet
That's solid.
there.
That's solid.
That's a good
We'll
bet.
see. We'll see. My nice 7-leg parlay. I'm feeling jolly. I'm feeling in a good mood.
I think one of those legs is gonna wilt just like your hat. So don't worry.
This is not a good sign. I will say that. All right, before we get out of here for a watch along, take a look at the line presented by our friends over at Bet365. -3.5 on the spread, -155 on the money line. Lakers +3.5 on the road, +130 on the money line. You usually get 2 points on the road. That's about as close to a pick'em as the line can give you. But what do we think happens tonight? Let's get into our score predictions. As we have already established, Steven is frozen, so we don't know what he thinks. Espo 122-115, Suns win. Gil 120-108, Suns win, and me 128-119, Suns win. Clean sweep across the board.
I'm the most pessimistic of the group.
The closest, yeah. I mean, I think it'll be one of those games similar to the one in LA where the Suns pull away and the scoring at the end is just window dressing.
That's why I like it. Well, come watch us, watch the window dressing and everything in between. Spend your Christmas Eve with us. The PHNX Suns watch along will be live in just a couple of minutes. I'm going to switch hats because I'm not going to do this for the whole watch along, but we see you there. Plus, we'll also see you on the post-game show. Follow the show at PHNX_Suns on socials for live coverage. During the game, you can follow Espo at Espo. You can follow Gil at Gil McGregor_. You can follow the Freckled Mamba at Freckled Mamba. You can follow me at ERIKRUBY. And I promise I won't be messing with my hat as much in the watch along. Bye.
Ahoy, ahoy.
We all silly like the mayor.